use your mic.
Call the Henry County Council meeting for December 11th, 2024 to order. If you please stand and remove your hats for the pledge led by Betsy and prayer by Harold. First on our agenda is the approval of the November 13th, 2024, our last. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes from November? If not, accept the motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Betsy, seconded by Shannon. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Nay, same. Okay. We're all here. Approves 7-0. Yeah, we have numerous transfers being into the year and a few ordinances and a few resolutions to clean up things, which is fairly typical. There is no chamber update. As I mentioned right before calling a meeting to order, Corey said he would not be here, neither would Penny, so we know we don't have an EDC update. And apparently no chamber update. So the transfers, we have several, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even out the books the end of the year. Planning Commission is the first one, which you have in your packet. It's a request from our zoning administrator, Tom Green, to transfer $500 from his association and training fees to longevity. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Susan, seconded by Mike. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes 7-0. Looks like these are two-sided, so on the flip side. Another transfer. This is from the Henry County Prosecutor's Office. This one is $42.92 from pretrial diversion from miscellaneous expenses. $42.95 from miscellaneous expenses to Social Security and $561 from miscellaneous expense to part-time. Do have a motion? Moved by Harold.
Second.
Second by Shannon. Any discussion? Wasn't Harold, it was Mike. It was Harold. You shook your head. I didn't know what that meant. Unless I'm looking at your face, I don't, some of you sound the same. Okay, I digress as usual. Seconded, if there's no comments, all in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Passes 7-0. Another transfer in order. We have this one from the Henry County Prosecutor's Office. That's one I just did. Turn the page. Trade Office, pardon me. Please transfer $1,363.63 from miscellaneous supplies to part-time help. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Second. I did not see who made the motion. Made the motion. Who seconded? Kyle. Okay. If there's no discussion, all in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Passes 7-0. Okay, flipping the page. This one is from Mandy, EMS Director. She's requesting a transfer of 10,000 from professional services and 14,000 from miscellaneous expenses. So that's 24,000 total. Of that 24,000, 19,000 to EMT/EMR and 5,000 to benefits. Is that clear? If so, make a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
I think that was Shannon and Betsy. Okay. If there's no discussion, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes 7-0. Second to last, we had an addition. This is from coroner. Brian asked $600 from transfer from office supplies to autopsy. I have a motion.
So moved.
Okay, who was first? Which one of you on the south side?
I think it was Kyle,
Yeah, it was me.
Kyle.
and
I
I'll
heard two-
second.
And
Second.
Susan seconded, okay. If there's no discussion, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes 7-0. We had an 11th hour edition of the Health Department of $1.82. Is that correct?
Were they $1.82 short paying a bill?
Okay,
I would love to make the motion.
okay. This is the motion for the smallest amount probably in the history, but
It's not in history. I saw him do a whole lot of that back in. I'll second.
okay, at least since I've been on. Okay. Been moved and seconded. All in favor of this transfer? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That passes 7-0. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, this is the first of 3 ordinance dealings. This is ordinance 2024-12. This is an ordinance fixing the number and compensation of all officers, deputies, and employees for 2025. This is part of our raise situation. Okay, it's on Exhibit A, which I have as a separate handout. Pursuant to law, it's required to determine the number of officers, deputies, and employees of Henry County and to determine the pay of officers, deputies, and employees whose compensations payable through our general fund and any other fund for which the county auditor issues warrants for compensation. The compensation of elected officials and employees of the county for the period January 1, 2025 to December 31st, 2025, whose salary is payable from any county fund is described in a code that's listed and hereby established and set forth on the attached document that I alluded to, which is Exhibit A. Tell me, Joel, that I don't have to read those 3. Okay. Are there any questions before we go into a motion? It's a 3-page that delineates the breakdown of all the offices in the general fund. And any that the auditor And this is the amount needed on the raises? No.
These are actually our salary ordinances that we
For,
approved.
okay, for 2025. Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
But Susan and Shannon? Okay. Any discussion? Thank you for all the work that's done to put into that auditor. But I know it's a lot. If not, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes 7-0. Need a motion to rescind ordinance 2024-11. I'm trying, oh, here it is. Found it. No, this is an ordinance for appropriations tax rates due to an error in the AV that was reported for cumulative bridge. I think there's, my understanding of it is an error, an extra zero was put in by Baker Tilly and caught by DLGF. So legally, we have to correct that extra zero that went into the state. Notice is hereby given to taxpayers of Henry County, Indiana, that the county adopted an incorrect tax rate for its cumulative bridge fund. The county council will hold a readoption meeting on today at the courthouse and adopt the following corrected levy and rate for the cumulative bridge fund. The levy is actually $524,623. The tax rate that the state said we should have now with the corrected number submitted to the state is 0.0228 tax rate. So that cuts about $400,000 from that. But it's about $80,000 higher than this year. Any discussion? Is that correct? That's what happened? Okay. Any discussion, question, or motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion to rescind ordinance 2024-11.
I'll second that.
If there's no other discussion, all in favor of that motion, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
I'll follow up with a motion to adopt ordinance 2024-13, which is the corrected ordinance.
I'll second.
Motion by Shannon and seconded by Susan to adopt the correct rate that I mentioned and perhaps in your packet. If no discussion, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes 7-0. We are legal. GF, State Board of Accounts standpoint. This is just additional information on what we just passed. Moving on. Resolution number 2024-12-11-009. So we're up to 009 on the resolutions. The one that still deals with the highway department. I thought that's what we just. Okay. Okay, I thought it was more of the same, so thank you. So this is actually resolution 2024-12-11-008. Whereas the county council has established a budget for the county highway department for 2024, whereas the county highway department is in need of additional revenues to be transferred from one budget category to another budget category in order to pay salaries. And whereas the county council wishes to approve the transfer, the following transfers shall be made within the budget of the county highway department. You have the listing. These are all from 1176, 530, 1000.02. Amount of $2,500 goes into 1176, 531, 1000-11, 1432 from that same account to 1176 533 1000-02, 1619 from Fund 1176 533, no, into Fund 1176 533 1000.02. All from the same fund, as I said earlier, 1432 to 1176 533-1000.07. $1,882 from that same account into 1176-533 1000.08, effective upon passage. Do you have questions or a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Susan, seconded by Shannon. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passes 7-0. Now on to the resolution 2024, today's date -009. This is a resolution authorizing reduction and increase in budget. Again, whereas the county council has previously adopted an annual budget for fiscal 2024. Now therefore be resolved, the following reduction in appropriation is hereby approved. This is our big fund that we put things into, our reclassification temporarily to take care of the raises and increases that we've had and voted on this summer. The following increases in appropriation are hereby approved, set forth in Exhibit A. We're back to Exhibit A. Another Exhibit A. This is in the amount of $405,810 to be able to pay people what we approved.
So this is the money that we're using to pay the increase in wages for this current year. And I'd make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you, departments listed. Thank the auditor's department for all the work. The fact that we approved these raises effective September, a lot of work has gone into that. I wondered why that 405,000 was lower than in probate. Okay. Well, appreciation for everybody that worked to make possible the raises that finally given and well-deserved. It's taken a while to get to the point where we could do that, but better late than never. I'm glad we were able to do that. Okay, was there a motion to approve this from reclassification of $405,810 so we can do these raises?
We had a motion in a second.
Okay, any discussion? If not, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. You just witnessed why I said I don't want to be chair next year. Let's see. Anything else before I do some legislative updates?
Wanted to thank you for chairing for the past 2 years. Is that right? Or is it 3 or 2?
Free time flies.
It flies when you're having fun. So we all appreciate all the hard work you put into,
You did 3,
serving
I
the
did 3,
county.
and somebody else
That's
is
true.
gonna be at
that does add up to 6.
up to
All right.
that. this
Well, thank
past-
you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Are we able to give departing remarks now, or is that at the end?
Let me give some legislative updates and let's do those parting thanks.
Good deal.
A lot of people who's put in a lot of time to put us in a little better financial situation than we were 6 years ago. I serve on the the ICCA, and that's the Indiana County Council Association Legislative Committee. We were supposed to have a meeting last Friday, but there'd been no laws forwarded, or nothing had come forth as far as from the legislature to be considered for the 2025 legislative session, so it was canceled. What has been, we have one next Friday, the 20th. It's every 2 weeks during the legislation. Property taxes is going to be a big question mark with a new governor. Homestead modifications the last few years have dug into what normally we could receive our portion for property taxes to run the county. Highway, there's committees looking seriously into how highway monies are going to be divvied up and distributed. That'll be interesting, along with the property taxes. Newly elected officials conference. I think Jay and Chad are going to go tomorrow, when has the auditor and county councils and treasurer, I think, has their newly elected officials training tomorrow. I know some sessions are with council and auditors together when I looked at their agenda. The ICCA, the County Councils Association, putting out a new handbook. They put out one that I shared with you about 3 years ago. That's like 4 years, I think it was 2020. They're putting out a new one that I was told by Anton Neff, who chairs the association, that they're going to share new ones tomorrow, new edition with changes that have been made legislatively and in the law. And I've asked Chad and Jay to pick up extra copies so that we might all have a copy of that. It's a very valuable tool. I looked online today. There's, I've not seen these before, but there's doodle YouTubes on different duties of county council, commissioners, auditors. Anyway, it's a very short one that Ryan and one of the officials of the ICCA put together. It's very interesting. So good recap, but they have them for every elected official. And that link is on your agenda that I gave you electronically earlier. And you might mark your calendars for the IAC Legislative Conference on February 4th and 5th. We've gone to that before, and it's very interesting. It's a way to also be able to meet some of the legislators, which I've done before. I also put out on your desk the 2024 liaison assignments. You might be looking over that, you who are returning, and see what you might want. I also shared an electronic copy with Chad, Jay, and Scott, asking them to look over that. We'll discuss those at our January meeting, which I think is the 8th, because the 1st is on the, New Year's is on the 1st, so the second Wednesday will be January 8th. I shared with you that the Courier Times has been asking for our meeting dates. I will say that you three who are returning to the council have all responded to me that second Wednesday at 4:30 is fine, correct? You who are returning?
Correct.
All three of us? It's going to be a very different county council. So as of right now, I've responded to Travis that we'll decide that for sure at our January 8th meeting, but it's looking as if 4:30 on second Wednesdays will continue, because no one has said that that does not work out for them. So it does work out for those who we know are returning. And let me add mine first. I want to thank Betsy, Kyle, Harold. I guess our younger members are Kyle and Betsy, but it takes a village, and really thank you for your insights and what you bring to the table. It's been a productive and generally positive time, but I think we've made great inroads, especially on things on the budget and especially raises. And it took all of us to iron that out. I'm glad that Shannon and Mike are returning. I wish Susan all the best in her new role as commissioner. But only three of us are going to be, three of you that are up here are going to be back. So, but thank you so much. And Harold in particular, what you've put in forth and the time and what you've contributed to this county, both the 4 years as sheriff and 20 years as county council. I don't think we can possibly thank you enough for your dedication and what you've contributed for the benefit of county citizens. So thank you. We'll have a little bit extra after we adjourn to further that comment. But Betsy wanted to say something, I bet.
I did. I just wanted to express my gratitude to my colleagues. I'm wearing sunglasses because I'm very light sensitive, not because I'm trying to pull off a look or anything. But when I came onto the council, I was caucused in January 2020, and Mike Thalls had retired with 1 year left on his. January 2020 was an interesting time, and COVID happened 2 months later. So it was absolutely a trial by fire, but it was fascinating. And I remember being the coroner liaison, and we had a bit of a tiff with our coroner at that point when he decided to take a job in Evansville throughout the week at the beginning of COVID. It was a wild time, but it's been a great honor. We've had a lot of, Kenan, you said it takes a village, and it really does. Like, everybody brings different talent and perspective to the table, and something that's, I've always been really happy to relate to my friends who ask, like, what's the job like? And it's like, everybody really, I think, comes in with a good attitude, and we want to get things done as efficiently and effectively as possible. It's been a really positive experience. I know that many of us get frustrated with state and federal level governance. There's a lot to be mad about, but I think at a local level, I can say honestly, I think we do a really good job. And I think if our neighbors could see, if they were paying attention, they would see that I think we generally have done things really, really well in a chaotic time, really. I'm really excited about food and beverage, what we've been able to do with that, investing back into Memorial Park, the YMCA, all those other projects, even the Basketball Hall of Fame expansion, which, has that ribbon cutting already happened? Okay, so, I mean, it's very soon. Yeah. That's what I thought. So that's just, just really cool stuff we've been able to do. And not only that, but, the raises that we've talked about for years, finally being able to do that, getting our deputies paid more to market rates so we can be competitive, just things like that. There've been a lot of projects to work on, and I think we've overall done a really good job. I just want to thank each of my colleagues, and especially Kenan, being chair, you've done a fantastic job, and always kept us apprised of what's going on at the State House, all your legislative updates, and just in general, you've been a phenomenal leader. And before you, Susan, you were also a phenomenal leader of our council. So especially thank each of you. And while 4 of us are leaving, I'm excited by who's coming in. Jay, I know you're going to do a heck of a job. You bring so much knowledge to the table. We all know Chad. Chad's our numbers guy. He's going to be great. And I don't know Scott very well, but I've only heard the best things. And I certainly appreciated the 3 of them being at budget sessions this summer with us, and pretty much the entire time. So just thank you to everybody. And I wish you the best of luck moving forward.
Thank you, Betsy. Anybody else? Kyle.
I'll be brief. I'd just like to thank everybody for the opportunity to work with you and learn from you and your patience as I got up to speed on things. So hopefully I can see you more in the future and we can still be friends and cordial and just, Jay, don't give me anything to come up here and complain about as things go forward in the future. Just kidding. On a side note, it's a miracle, but I brought my laptop back and the charger. The fact that I've got a charger for the laptop after 3 years is impressive. So on the record, it's here. It's no longer mine. Thank you.
And Jeff and Brian will be happy. Thank you. We really appreciate your legal advice, being an attorney. You have given us very sound advice when Joel's not been able to be here at budget sessions. You'd always look up something on your phone to get the latest, what's legal and what's not, Indiana code and whatnot. So appreciate your expertise in that area. It's helped us out of some trouble, I'm sure, at times. Walk the straight and narrow legally. Everybody gets a chance because
Thank you all for the opportunity to work together on the council. I learned a lot and really enjoyed it and look forward to continuing to work with those of you who are still here. So it's gonna be fun as we continue to move forward. Thanks. Thank you all.
let's hope it's fun.
Fun. It's a good word, Kenan. It's gonna be fun.
Fun is a goal. It's a good goal. Shannon, Harold, Mike. We're not over yet. We've got to have fun.
I'll just say thanks to those that are outgoing. We really appreciate all your input and your dedication to the county.
I'll echo what Shannon said. I really appreciate all the help that I got getting started and give me another couple years and maybe I'll be up to speed.
There's definitely a learning curve. And a lot of times you learn from your mistakes, hopefully. Anything else from the council? Anything from the audience, the public? Well, we appreciate Harold's longevity and his wisdom and calmness sometimes when things got heated. And when he got heated, he'd always pull back. He knew when to pull back the reins. Sometimes I did not, but we appreciate your expertise. And again, Kyle and Betsy, thank you. You all contributed mightily to where we came from, coming from being in debt to a very healthy balance. It's taken all of us, so we appreciate it. It's taken some tax increases, but given what is forecast at the state level, I was reluctant to go along with some of those tax increases, but it turns out that maybe it was a godsend that we did, because what they potentially could be doing could really strap us, and we got ahead of it. It seems like that maybe we'll be better off than some counties, and as much as I hate to raise taxes, in hindsight, it might turn out to be for the best. And it was possible to give some of the raises as a result of that. Anything else? If not, we'll move to the public. And Joel, we thank you for your advice. And being here at meetings and answering questions, like I do not have to read these 3 pages of single-spaced salary ordinances, and the auditor's office for keeping us out of trouble and taking minutes and being here and helping at budget time and other times. It does take a village. Public, anything? Brian, Mandy, Bobby, Debbie? No? Everything must be cool, and it is outside. It's snowing. We have a little thank you going away for our three outgoing members, but especially Harold, we got something special. So I'm going to ask for an adjournment.
So moved.
We are adjourned and we're going to get some fun refreshments. So please stick around, everybody here.